My name is John Hoff. I'm a weight loss coach, and I decided to go live here on Instagram. I usually have gone live on Facebook more often. I had a Facebook group. I did lives and Zooms and all those kinds of things. So I'm a little new on the Instagram live part of it. So bear with me if I click a couple buttons. But I wanted to talk about today. First of all, if you have any questions, just let me know. But I wanted to talk about today. I had a conversation with someone the other day who was basically kind of not being motivated to do anything. They were, just feeling down. They were kind of, looking at themselves and saying, man, what's happened here? And when we get into that state of mind and you're trying to lose weight, what happens? We get really negative, we get demotivated, and losing weight is like trying to push the heaviest rock you can imagine up a hill, isn't it? It starts getting hard. And then when it starts getting hard, if you're like I used to be, if you're like I still am sometimes, if you're like some of my other clients and people that I know are, when things get hard, sometimes we just say, you know what, screw it. I'll just eat whatever I want. I don't care. You know what? I'll eat now. I'll eat this now. I'll make up for it later. Like we start making deals with ourselves. And those deals are like, I'll make up for it later. I'll just won't eat breakfast in the morning. I'll just won't eat all day tomorrow. Or I'll go to the gym and work out extra hard. And how many times do we actually really follow through with that? And it's not really the most healthy relationship that we can have with ourselves, is it? Making deals with ourselves like that. That's not cool. So, being demotivated, okay? Not having the motivation to keep going, not having the motivation to try something new. Or if you're just like looking at yourself in the mirror, trust me, I've done it. I look at the little wrinkles here. I remember when I was younger, when I have the smile lines, like when I smile, and I guess they call them crow's feet or whatever. And I knew that as I was around 50 years old, which I'm right around that now, that those lines would start becoming more noticeable. But I expected it. I knew it was going to happen. Now, the thing is expectation, okay? So expectation can be one of the best things in the world, and it can also be one of the worst things in the world. Because what happens to you when you're expecting something to go a certain way, to lose weight nice and easy, it worked for somebody else, so it should work for me, I'm doing the exact same thing. But what happens if that expectation is not met? We get hard on ourselves, don't we? And who's your worst, or should I say most harsh critic? If you're like me, it's you, right? It's yourself. You're your own worst critic. So, okay, if you find yourself in a place where it's like, gosh, you know what? I'm just not motivated to do anything right now. I just keep eating. I just go in the pantry and I sit down and I eat. What can I do, John, to get myself back motivated? Well, there's a number of things you can do, okay? And we're all a little bit different. So it's important to realize that what works for someone won't always work for someone else. It might not work for you, but it works great for me. All right. So one of them that I have, whenever I find myself getting into kind of a darker place, like the sad place, one little thing maybe triggered me. And then I go down this rabbit hole of suck. I just suck at this. I'm not good at this. And it even starts getting down to like the love level. Like, am I even being a good dad? I'm doing all these videos. I'm working a lot. I'm trying to make money and provide for the family, but I could be outside throwing a football right now with my kid. And you start going down these like rabbit holes of badness. But what I do, and it works for me pretty well, is to snap myself out of it quickly. It's called being resilient. And that is, I always have this like yes, but thing that I've trained my mind to do. Whenever I have a negative thought or even a negative emotion, I used to sit there and just wallow in it for days. But I started just writing down, all right? I would start writing down the thought. Sometimes I just visualize it. And I imagine, well, what other things are actually going great in my life? Okay? So if you're feeling like perhaps you're not really doing very well with your weight loss journey, okay, but perhaps you need to give yourself a little break because perhaps you have been doing the right things, but maybe there's just one little thing that you need to learn. Some little thing that you're missing, and it's there, right? You just need somebody to teach it to you, or you just need to find out what that thing is. There's always the yes buts like, okay, maybe you're sucking at losing weight right now, but guess what? You got yourself out of bed today. You're breathing. It's a beautiful day out. You got to spend time with your family. Now, those things might not have something to do with the weight loss thing, but what you're training your mind to do is that every time you see and feel something negative, you're immediately snapping to something that's positive. And you get better at this over time. And at some point, like it has for me, it starts to become a habit. It becomes a habit of you have that negative thought. Oh my God, look at what is going on. I got a big forehead. And, you start judging yourself and all this stuff. And you say, okay, yeah, but you know what? Going live today, despite all my imperfections, despite not being perfect at, being on video, perhaps not having the best equipment, not having the best background, but guess what? Maybe I was able to help one person today. Help one person think about something in a little different way that makes all the difference for them. And that snaps me back into a much better place in my head to keep going, to keep motivated. So that's just one thing. That's just one thing. There's a lot of things, right? You could do affirmations. Okay. And in a way, that's kind of what that is affirmations. But every time you're feeling bad, every time you're telling yourself something negative and you need to get back to being motivated, grab your book. Look, I've got 2 journals that I write in. I don't write them in them every day, but I do write in them quite a bit. And just start programming your mind. Your brain is like a computer and you can program it. The thing is that the more you do something, the more your brain is going to be automatically saying, okay, hey, John is going to keep thinking this. He's going to keep doing this. He's going to keep brushing his teeth in the same way every single day. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it all on autopilot. It just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of repetition. So if you start writing down affirmations, all right, Google them. Positive affirmations, positive weight loss affirmations. There's a million of them out there and they're free. Find ones that resonate with you and start writing them when you wake up in the morning, when you go to sleep at night. Do it during the daytime if you want. Write positive affirmations and you do it and you do it and you keep doing it and you keep doing it. And guess what? Over time, you will have this ritual that is automatic. You don't have to think about it. And your mind just goes to positive affirmations during the day. I can't tell you how important it is to keep a positive mindset when you're trying to lose weight. And then when you stack all of these things, you stack like what I first talked about there, where you build this mental ability to every time you have a negative thought, you go immediately to 3 positive thoughts about anything. I don't care what it is. About yourself would be great. And then you start writing affirmations each day. That's going to get you back into being motivated because you're changing your state. Listen, whatever your state is is what you are going to be. Okay. In other words, if I put it another way, wherever your attention is, okay, that is what the experience that you're going to have will be. So if your energy is in the negative, I'm not good enough mindset, you are going to think, feel, and do those things. And when you think about it, you're going to feel something. And when you feel something, guess what? You're going to put a meaning behind that thought. You're going to think it. It'll trigger a thought, a feeling, which then is going to put a meaning on it. I suck or I'm awesome, right? You're going to put some kind of meaning behind whatever that thought was. And then when you get the meaning, you're going to get the deeper emotion. And I'm telling you right now, whatever you think, feel, and the emotional response that you put behind that, that is going to be what you do. All right? So you're going to need to start programming your mind for being positive, for being in the right direction of what you're doing, thinking in positive thoughts, thinking in a positive direction. And yes, we're all human. Yes, we're all going to have negative thoughts. Yes, we're going to be critical about ourselves, but it doesn't have to stay there. Okay? So you create your life. There's two kinds of people out there, and neither one is bad. It's just a matter of which one are you, and you can change which one you are at any time. And those are people who live life intentionally, and there's ones who live by reaction. Now, make no mistake about it. You live your life through creation, okay? The world, everything that you experience, you're creating through yourself. The experience you're creating through yourself. No, I didn't build the house over there. But whatever is over there, the experience I have from it, the experience I have with people. I didn't create those people. Well, a couple of them, some of them I did. 4 of them maybe. But the people that I'm meeting and I'm talking to, I create the experience for myself. Okay? And you need to create intentionally an experience of yourself losing weight. If you create the experience by living life by reaction. So what is living life by reaction? It's like when you want to do things, but you have this yes, but, which is a defense kind of thing. Well, I want to lose weight, but I can't really walk very well. My knees hurt. I want to lose weight, but you know what? I really don't have time right now. I'm too busy at work. I want to lose weight, but I hear it's expensive. You have to buy healthy food to lose weight. I want to lose weight, but everything I try never seems to work for me. It's like there's always the reasons why you can't. And look, I'm not judging anybody. If that's who you are and you're happy with being who you are, that's fine. But I'm looking for the people who are wanting to start creating their life through intention. And if you're wanting to create life through intention, then I invite you to keep watching my videos, subscribe to my podcast, Losing It with John. Get on my wait list for when I take on new students coming up real soon. You live life by intention. You intentionally create what it is that you want. And if you're looking in the mirror, telling yourself, oh my God, what has happened to me? Then you need to start doing something about it. And I think that's great when you start asking questions. But the first thing you need to have, okay? The first thing you need to have is the awareness. Because I'm telling you right now, that is the most important thing for change, is awareness. Because if you have no freaking clue that something is happening or something, you can't change it, can you? If you don't even know something's going on, if you have no awareness of, hey, there's all these things you could do, You're not going to do them. So you have to have the awareness. And it's great that you would have the awareness that, oh my goodness, I am being too hard on myself. Oh my goodness, I'm being too critical. What do I got to do to change this? That's the question. How can I? In what ways can I? Fill in the blank. Okay? So, let's see. I've written down a few other things here. Like I said, you got to train your brain. You got to be proactive. Another thing that has really helped me tremendously in everything in my life, meditation and visualization. Now, they're very closely related, meditation and visualization. I look at it like this, okay? So meditation is when you try to just blank everything out. Nobody's perfect at it. I'm not perfect at it. I've been doing it a long time, and I'm nowhere near those monks that live out in the mountains. but meditation is more of a receptive part. Okay. It's when you're like trying to receive information from the universe, where visualization, or you can even say hypnosis. Okay. But visualization is when you are purposely closing your eyes, but you're thinking, you're directing, you're rehearsing what it is that you're doing. So if you have a negative experience doing something, okay, you are going to eat healthy, or you are going to eat a certain amount of food and not overeat, but you found yourself going to the restaurant and eating everything. Then go home, close your eyes, and visualize what happened. How could you have done it differently? And even better yet, before you go to that restaurant, if you already know you're going there with friends, and you know your friends order appetizers, desserts, they do all the stuff, they get the drinks and all that, then I would suggest rehearse in your head, close your eyes and rehearse it in your head. Okay? Visualize yourself going there and doing those things, thinking, feeling, having an emotion, and acting the way you want to. And you've rehearsed it in your head before you even go. And that's going to give you a big head start. Now, that is going to help you stay motivated, because if you can stop yourself from constantly falling off or constantly not following through with what you say you're going to do, if you can stay on track much better, you stay more motivated, don't you? I know I do. If I keep going out with an intention of doing something and I do something different, I get frustrated, upset, and demotivated. But if I go in there and I rocked it out like a rock star, I'm like freaking on cloud 9. I'm doing awesome, and it keeps you going. Okay. Another thing is, don't compare yourself to other people. I mean, isn't this like the thing that we would tell our kids? If our kids were, let's say they wanted to play baseball. All right. And let's say it's your kid or your grandchild or something. And every time they swing the bat and they keep missing the ball, would you just keep saying, oh my God, you suck. You can't hit the ball with nothing. Why do you even try? Look at yourself in the mirror, kid. You're not cut out for this. Okay. If you did do that, you're a terrible parent, right? If you saw somebody doing that to their kid, you'd probably be like, that person sucks. And when the parent walks away, you probably walk up to the kid and say, hey, I think you're doing great. You know what? Keep at it. Chin up. Lift that elbow a little bit when you hold the baseball bat. You got this. Just keep practicing. But it's interesting that we don't give ourselves that same advice when we are struggling, isn't it? So take a little bit of your own advice that you would give a kid if they were struggling. All right? And don't compare yourself. If you're comparing yourself to someone else, they are different. They are not you. They might not have 4 kids, working 2 jobs. They might not have had the struggle that you've had with losing weight. They might not have the same bad back that you have. They might have a spouse who was a dietitian, who was a trainer, who was a coach. You don't know. So why are you comparing yourself to that person? So stop comparing yourself to people, and maybe, just maybe, you can keep yourself a little more motivated. Like I said, all of these things, they stack. They stack. If you just do one little thing, it can help. But the more little things you do can help. But you got to find the thing that works best for you. You don't have to do everything. Just do the ones that seem to resonate the most with you. What's another one here? Oh, okay. So a lot of times people get demotivated because they're trying to do too much all at once. Look, you and I both know, okay, there's a million things out there that you can do that would be healthy for you. There's so many things you could do to lose weight. People have taken diet pills. People have gone on vegan diets. People have gone on just a vegetarian diet. Some people go on the carnivore diet where all you do is eat meat. Some people do a South Beach diet. They do the Mediterranean diet. They do intermittent fasting, paleo, keto, low carb, Atkins. I mean, it's endless, isn't it? There's a million things. And then on top of that, there's all the little things. Well, okay, try to eat enough protein. Maybe you should skip dairy. Maybe you should have dairy. Eat some eggs. Don't eat eggs. Oh my God, it makes you all freaking go crazy, right? And what happens? Let me ask you this question. What happens when you get overwhelmed? What do you tend to do when you get overwhelmed? Well, if you're like me, you say screw it, and you get tired, you go take a shower, maybe you go eat something, and you sit down on the couch, lay down on the bed, go do something else. It's too much. It's too much. I'm going to go do something else. That's not a great way to live now, is it? That's not a great way to stay motivated now, is it? So what you do instead is go back to the basics. This is why I call my program that when I'm right now, actually, I'm creating the program. Okay. I used to teach low carb, because I think low carb is a great way for people to lose weight if they are attracted to eating a low carb lifestyle. But you don't have to eat low carb to lose weight. But a lot of people get overwhelmed. And so I asked myself, well, what can I put together for people who are struggling to lose weight and they don't necessarily want to eat low carb? They don't want to go on a diet. What is it that they need to do? I'm like, well, I'll tell you what they need to do. This little conversation's going on in my head because I go all crazy like that. They need to just focus on the basics. And I'm like, back to basics. You just got to get back to basics. Sometimes you just got to do the basics very well. And you just do those few things. You don't have to do everything. You just have to do the few things and do them well. Not perfect, but consistently do them well, working on them and getting better. Slow and steady will win the race. And those basics are just a few things. One, you need to learn how to eat a proper amount of food based on the amount of activity that you do. I mean, this makes sense, doesn't it? If you sit on the couch and you eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, do you think you're going to be able to lose weight? No. So getting back to the basics of don't eat too much food. Don't overconsume. Eat a normal amount of food for the height that you're going for, the weight, well, not the height that you're going for. You are a certain height, but the weight that you're going for, right? Eat a proper amount of food. There are some instances where some people need to eat more food to reboot the metabolism. That's a little bit different discussion. For the most part, the people who I help are people who are just like, I'm eating and I get stressed and I eat. I get tired and I eat. I get angry and I eat. I don't have time. I come home. I'm just going to grab whatever I have in the pantry and eat. I help those people get back to the basics of simply eat when you're hungry and stop when you've had enough food. And that sounds super simple. And trust me, it is. But what is not as easy, it's not always easy, is it? But it's as simple as that. Eat less calories, okay? Get yourself into a calorie deficit. Not too much of one. Get yourself in a calorie deficit by just gently backing down a little bit. And you're going to start then losing weight. Now, if it was that easy, you wouldn't need me. This video would be the only thing you need to watch. This live or whatever is the only thing you need to watch. The only thing you need to watch is, hey, John just said, if I'm over-consuming food, which, I am over-consuming food. I just need to eat a little bit less and I'll lose some weight, right? Done. Does it work as easily as that? No, it doesn't, does it? You want to know why? That is the basics, by the way. That is the basics of weight loss. But the reason why is this thing right here. This is what people need the most help with when they're trying to lose weight. They need the most help with, what do I do when I am angry, stressed, bored, not paying attention? When I go out with my friends, what do I do when I'm feeling down? What do I do when I'm depressed? What do I do when I'm excited and I want to party? What do I do when I go to a party? How do I correct some of these thinking ways that I have? And I've mentioned some of them in this video, but as we all know, it's simple, not always easy. That's why people come to me. Because sometimes you need somebody to show you those steps. Okay? So I call it Back to Basics. This is my program, Back to Basics. Because it really is that. Let's get back to, first of all, not doing all the things. Yes, like eating salad is going to help you lose weight. Eating low carb can help you lose weight. All those things. You don't have to do all of those things. You don't have to eat low carb. Do the basics. Learn how to get your thinking a little bit better, a little more in line when your thoughts are going a certain way. Learn how to direct them into a different way so that you make better decisions. And when you just focus on these little things and you don't do too much at once, something amazing happens. You start getting more positive because you're starting to see some results happen for you, and you're not getting overwhelmed, and you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. It's not too difficult. You don't have to change your life to lose weight. Because I'm telling you right now, we went to, it's called Aliante Station, okay? We went to Aliante Station the other night. I ate a double cheeseburger with bread. Double cheeseburger with bread is not a weight loss food now, is it? But I don't have a problem with my weight. I did before. I was overweight before, but I learned how to lose the weight. I'm telling you this because I want you to know that you don't have to give up all of your favorite foods to lose weight. You have to learn how to control yourself a little better around food and not go freaking crazy at it. All right. So, I think I kind of covered a lot there today for just hopping on really quick live. If you would like to learn some more, what I suggest is, I got a podcast, Losing It with John. Go to losingitwithjohn.com podcast. The link is also in my Instagram bio. So if you click on my Instagram bio, you can click on that. If you'd like to be the first one notified when I'm bringing in new students, because like I said, I'm working on my videos for Back to Basics to teach people how to just get back to those basics and learn how to eat a proper amount of food, how to kind of like plan their day a little bit better, and we'll do some live calls, some coaching. I'm putting that all together right now, and I'm really freaking excited about it because this stuff has helped other people before, and I'm putting it into a nice cohesive program that you will be able to watch and follow along, and it's not going to be like going on special diets or anything like that. You can still eat ice cream. You can still eat the things that you want. It's just learning how to eat properly and how to get this thing more in line. And if you're interested in that, the link in my bio, you can get on my wait list, okay? losingitwithjohn.com/wait list. Get on my wait list. I'll make sure that you're the first one notified when I'm accepting new students and when I open the doors to that program. It's going to be a very small little beta group that I'm putting in, okay? I'm only going to accept a few students at a time right up front because it's the first version of it. So actually, you'll be making out quite a bit because the enrollment will be a lot less money. I'm going to make sure you get a lot of freaking value on it. And the reason that I'm really, going extra on it, for one, I love helping people. Don't get me wrong. But two, look, you know what? Right now, it's just, I want to help as many people as I can. And I know the more I help you, the more likely you'll give me a testimonial, right? So there's vested interest for both of us here. And I'm going to make sure it's a win for you. So subscribe to my podcast, get on my wait list. I'll see you there. And let's stay positive. Let's keep going. Keep the motivation going. I'll see you next time. Okay. Have a good one.